welcome to episode 261 of your favorite daily podcast, A Couple of Things, a podcast about things. Today, I want to talk about hair again. I know I did an episode about hair, my hair, and the journey I'm going through, but something interesting happened this week with hair, and I want to talk about that. So very recently, I went to make my hair. I have natural hair, which if you listen to this podcast, you know. And I'm really stressed about my hair a lot of the time. It's growing nicely, it's behaving well for the most part, but having it out is very, very stressful because it requires so much maintenance to not look crazy with my hair out, because my hair is, it doesn't do like a proper afro, like the ones that you see in the I'm Black and I'm Proud, say it out loud kind of pictures. It does a weird thing that I don't really know what it is about, so I have to actually like make it look like that. And so for most of the time, I like to have it done, so whether I do twists with my hair or I do cornrows or whatever, and then I can wear wigs or just take my twist and cornrows out like that as I please. But anyway, so I decided to do cornrows this time. I've been doing twists for like the better part of the year, for most of the year actually even. And I decided to do cornrows instead this time around. And so I went to the place where I always make my hair, and I was like, I want to just do cornrows, and they were like, no, you can't just do cornrows. We have to, make it really nice and do some kind of like jazz it up a little bit. It's not just regular cornrows. And when they were done, it was basically like when I was in primary school and they'll say, oh, you do all back or cornrows. And there's like zigzag here and there, and there's twists and turns, and things are just happening. It's not just straight all back. There's pizzazz and drama going on with the all back. And then somebody said to me that is this not is this not men's hairstyle, basically? And I was like, wow, that's very interesting, because this was like my primary and secondary school hairstyle that is now considered male hairstyle. Like, this is how when guys do cornrows or all back, this is typically what they would do, with all the style and the zigzag and the crisscross and all those kinds of things. And I found it very, very interesting that the framing of this, what I consider to be primary and secondary school girl hairstyle, is now considered to be male hairstyle, kind of. It's very, very interesting. And now I'm wondering, like, what other things were previously associated with like some kind of person or phase of life or whatever, and are now associated with something entirely different from that. I couldn't come up with anything, but it just made me start thinking about the general way in which like things evolve, and not just the thing evolving, but the perception of the thing evolving. Like, there is a thing from Morgan Housel that is in his book on the psychology of money, and I'm sure is on his website as well, about how like the things that only super wealthy people used to do before eventually become like quote unquote normal, that is accessible for people who are like middle class or upper middle class, and eventually it gets accessible for people who are in the lower class, and then these things just keep going on and on like that. So there was once upon a time where it was only, I think the example he gives is about travel, where it was only the super wealthy who could like really travel by air especially, and then it became more accessible. So it's not like necessarily that travel evolved, it was just like the perception of who is able to travel evolved. And that's what, like, with the hair thing. And again, this thing is not necessarily about like a field or a thing evolving, just the people who can do it, or the people who have access to it, or the perception of who is able or allowed to do it, how it can change over time. And I haven't really thought too deeply about it, so I don't have like any deep takes to share. Just a random observation from making my hair recently. So yeah, I don't really have anything else to add on this topic of conversation, and so this is where we'll wrap it up. But if you have any additional things that you may have observed that have fallen to this principle or whatever, you know what I mean. I hope you know what I mean. Please share them with me. I'm very curious as well about like what other places this event has occurred. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for listening. Bye. Also, ask me questions. Submit a question. Thank you. Thank you for listening to today's episode of A Couple of Things. If there was anything you found interesting or insightful, or you enjoyed the episode, please do share to someone or multiple people. Like, leave a comment, and definitely do subscribe and all the nice things. Bye.